I believe we all know Tox, right? A diehard WWE fan, right? So Tox was, passionately rooting for Bafemi recently against Brock Lesnar, right? And then, see Mobike drop a take on that post, and ever since then, WWE fans have been coming for him, attacking him in the comment section. But I just want you guys to hear me out, and after hearing me out, I believe you will agree with him, right? See, I have absolutely nothing against people that who still watch WWE, right? In fact, I respect you. Like, I doff my cap for you guys. You know why? Because me, I couldn't do it. I tried, but I couldn't do it anymore, right? So, see, growing up, WWE, wasn't just entertainment, right? It was real life. When you hear real life, it was real life. So, back then when it was still WWF, I was emotionally invested, right? I argued with people. I defended my favorite wrestlers with my full chest, right? I did what a fan can do, right? I celebrated victories like Arsenal had won a UEFA Champions League, right? I hide in fear whenever Undertaker Rest in Peace soundtrack comes on board. I tear cry when Shawn Michaels lost. I get angry when Randy Orton, cheats. I shed tears for John Cena. Never give up. I love Chris Benoit. I love Soulja Boys, the Table Boys, the best tag team. I was a real fan, right? I don't know whether it was because we were younger then, or because Vince McMahon left the group. Because Vince McMahon, did very better job in characterization and making fans, emotionally invested in WWF and WWE back then, right? So, but I watched WWE up until the last decade, right? When the Shield came on board. The Shield, guys, those guys almost, they ran me mad. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose. I watch them every week. Dean Ambrose, mad guy. Like Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, TLC, Hell in the Cell, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, name them. I know they miss anyone. It's just that I couldn't stand in the market and watch. I do buy, right? I know every storyline. But then, one day, one fateful day, someone said, bro, WWE is scripted. I said, no lie. It's not possible. I argue. It can never be possible. It's real. WWE scripted. Then the guy sent me a YouTube link. I watched behind the scenes of some footages. How they bleed to create blood. How they chew some medicine, something like medicine that can make them bleed from the nose and from the mouth. How referees communicate with them. How some moves they react. You see, anytime you see them holding themselves, they are talking together, communicating on what the next move. How winners are decided even before some matches, big matches starts, right? And something inside of me just switched off. Everything I everything. Not because WWE is bad per se, right? But because I realized that the emotions I had invested for over 20 plus years were based on something I thought was real competition. You get it now? So it be like say, person finally show you how magicians they do their trick. You still respect the magician or the guy, respect him. But that shocking feeling, that excitement don't disappear. So that's why, me personally, I switched to UFC ASAP. Because in UFC, when two fighters enter that octagon, forget about it. One punch, you go forget any script. So if you love WWE, honestly, I respect you because I tried to love it again, but work. I try my best, work, right? So please don't attack those of us who couldn't continue after discovering that it was all scripted. It's not our fault. It's sincerely, I tried. I did my best. We are not hating. We are not hating at all. We are just like fans whose childhood illusions ended. And once that first feeling disappeared, Makachi, we couldn't force it back. No matter what we do, we couldn't force it back. Even when you guys came on board, I couldn't. So now tell me in the comment section, when did you stop watching WWE?